What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage. On today's episode, we're back on the Honda Talon, and we're doing one of the most exciting upgrades, which is a full exhaust kit. We went with the Trinity Stage 5 exhaust, and in my opinion, it's the best kit for the Talons because it comes with a full header. Everything's stainless steel. It goes to an X-pipe, exits the X-pipe, and goes to two mufflers on the back of the side-by-side, which we have right here. We went with the black units, and they look freaking, everything is just so high quality in this kit. The mufflers also come with some spark arresters because some trails require you to have that or they won't let you ride. So what we're going to do is keep these in the glove box with an Allen wrench. So if we ever go to a trail like that and they make us put them in, we'll put them in, but if not, we'll keep them out. They have billet hangers. Everything, like I said, is crazy high quality, and we opted to go with the Dyno Jet tuner from Trinity. So basically they already have pre-maps on it that's going to give you extra horsepower for this high flow and exhaust. Now we're going to do some baseline revs outside and then pull it in, let it cool down, and get this new Stage 5 exhaust slapped on. Make sure to check out the links in the video description for everything we've done to this Talon, including this Trinity Stage 5 exhaust. So let's get to it and be loud and proud, player!
It's a good looking buggy.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to have this exhaust because the Talon, actually, I think the engine noises factory sound pretty good, but from the videos, this exhaust sounds sick. So, and we are going to be doing a turbo kit in the future, probably in a year or so. So this exhaust will still work. We'll just get rid of the header that goes up to the X-pipe, and I think they actually sell an adapter for the turbo kit for that. So we're at the back of the Talon. We have the Super ATV bumper, but it shouldn't affect anything because I'm pretty sure we installed the bumper and then put the muffler back on. You're going to have 4 10 mils. There's going to be 2 on each side that holds this plastic cover and heat shield on. We're going to take those 4 10 mils out, then we can slide this out. So with those out, this will fall right down. We can slide it out the side. Again, it was just 2 10s on either side. So our oxygen sensor is right here. We're going to unplug it from the frame, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the muffler because it's easier to get to this with the exhaust off. So now we can remove these hangers on each side. It's going to be the same process for either side. Pry out on the rubber mount. Once we got that off, we can take the 3 6 mils out on each side of the muffler. So we have 2 12 mil bolts on this collector here. I'm going to use a 12 mil socket in the impact.
Thing's got some girth to it.
Yeah, that's a big son of a gun. 17 mil on the oxygen sensor. So the heat shield on this exhaust is 2-piece. You have the big piece up here where the collector is, and then you have this smaller piece that goes around and wraps down, and it has 3 10 mil bolts in it. This rear piece, that's what we're going to remove, is this piece here. We're going to leave the bigger piece up there because it seems like it would keep a lot of heat away from my plastic. So we're going to do that next with a 10 mil. I would imagine if you had a lot of hours on yours, this would suck, like this heat shield, because it's just thin stainless. But ours, like I said, is pretty new, so we don't have a lot of dirt and rust caked up. run our last little bolt for our heat shield. And there we go. So we went ahead and pulled out this hanger that was bolted up there to get this heat shield out, and we're going to leave this hanger off, of course.
Bam.
There we go. You can see 2 bolt holes up top, 1 in the rear. Now we have 2 12s on each exhaust. Then we have 1 rubber hanger that you can see under that collector there.
Alright, so I got that boot off. I had to come over to the driver's side, and you can see where it was right there. From this side though, you can put it on this bar, the pry bar, and get some leverage to pull it off.
There we go. Take it out right in front of the rear shock. So let's go compare size and overall look of it to the new one. So that is what we're replacing there. I don't know if this is a cat. I don't think so. I thought this was a catalytic converter, but it may not be. I don't think so. So this is a catless system, which I guess makes sense as an off-road vehicle. But look at the quality and the size difference between these two. It's way better. And I'm sure it would have been nice to get new gaskets, but we're gonna hope that it seals up nice, because I did not, and it's too late to get them now. You know, because
we're doing this today.
we did it today and it's pulled apart today. So now we can get everything loosely put on, starting with the header pipe first. We get it all snugged up where we got some movement and everything. Then we can go on to mounting our muffler, and then we'll put these connection pipes in from the X pipe to the muffler last. So we'll get these put on. And once you touched it, make sure before starting it, that take brake cleaner, alcohol or something, wipe it all down. Any grease from your fingerprints will burn in the stainless when it gets up to temperature. Slide this up through here. It's way less bulky. It might even be nice to pull off the X pipe when doing this, but if we need to, we will. Get that on there. Take one of my nuts, factory nuts and washers, and get that started. So we got to take out 14s on each side. You can see them here. There's one on each side, and that's where the muffler bracket's going to go. Okay, so one problem that we're seeing with an aftermarket bumper is you're going to have to just push it up and back behind these rails right here, but it'll fit. You see that? Mm-hmm. It fits. It's just
hitting those two little.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing one thing. I saw it when you unscrewed the old one. Is this dropped down a little bit, so it's hitting what it's supposed to be going into.
A few moments later.
So when I was looking up videos of this Trinity exhaust, no one had a back bumper. And unfortunately, I think because we have the back bumper, it's got the chassis pulled. So basically this rear hoop comes down behind this Honda logo and then bolts with 4 bolts to this cradle, this engine cradle. So you can remove the roll cage separate from the chassis is what it is. Well, you can see that our holes, where are we at? Here,
right there, yep,
is off by like a 1/16 of an inch. Because when I took those bolts out, it dropped. So we tried everything. We tried jacking up on this. We tried loosening this bulkhead and jacking up.
Tried ratchet strapping it.
Tried hooking to the actual cradle of the engine down to this jack, or this bumper, and ratchet. We just can't get it. So what I'm gonna have to do, this sucks, but I have to take a Dremel with a flat style bit where the flat ends on the end there, not a pointed one, and I'm just going to have to open up the tab.
You
just
can see
like
it on this one. Just take the top off to where the hole lines back up.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
Wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Just took a little creative problem solving.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Damn. Okay, now we can put the clamps around the muffler loosely, hang it up. The muffler clamps go on the back side of this, not on the front. Run a bolt with washers and a nut that comes with the kit, and then we can just leave all this loose. Then we can put the pipes in to the X pipe. So we got these billet brackets. They got 6mm Allens in them. So they only come with 2, but the kit comes with these longer Allens, and that's for the center.
Ooh.
Gosh. Set our mufflers in like so.
You did that backwards, though, didn't you?
No, that's the way it goes.
I know, but upside down because you can't get the.
Yeah. You want to be easy with this because this aluminum can scratch the coating off the mufflers. So we can take our long Allens. Now we can pick this setup up. Slide that in. All right. So now we can go mount this onto that bracket we just installed with the shorter Allens that come with the kit, a big washer. So this is going to go through the bracket we just hung, and then this is going to sit behind that bracket. So it's all going to sandwich. Use a lock washer, nut, and small washer on the back side back here. Get her snug.
Those are loosely hung now. Now we just gotta get the connector pipes from where that X pipe is to the mufflers.
So we got this bung adapter, and this is going to step this bung down to the size that our oxygen sensor is. So first, before we red Loctite this in there, but do not red Loctite your oxygen sensor in the bung. Is it weird that red Loctite smells like cherries?
What do you think they got the red from?
Yeah, they just color it with fruit. Like most engine blocks are riddled with ants. All right, so we're
well,
gonna...
because of the antifreeze.
Antifreeze, yeah, got sugar in it. There we go.
All right.
That's good. Because when we tighten the oxygen sensor in it, it'll hold. So I'm gonna go grab that. So we're gonna put a dab of copper anti-seize on these threads.
Looks like more than a dab.
Well, we don't want it to seize. We want it to anti-seize. Okay. This would be the lower muffler. This is the upper muffler. We're just going to slide them into the X pipe, and then we can start putting all of our springs on. So these springs are going to be the ones for the X pipe on either side of the X pipe. We're going to have 4 small ones on the X pipe to the header, and the X pipe to these pipes going to the muffler. And then these
extension
are the
pipes.
Extension. We left everything loose. Okay, we go ahead and start our bolts, and it comes with 2 tabs. The tab is going to go on this outer hole sandwiched in between the bolt. So you're going to do a tab, lock washer, bolt on just these upper corner ones. So in dad fashion, we didn't look at instructions. We just started hammering down. So it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, honestly. And Lonnie's now tightening up the header, you know, bouncing from bolt to bolt to get everything even. And we got all the springs on the X pipe. We just used a pick and grabbed it and pulled it. So I end up pulling this pipe out of this collector here, bolting the collector up to each muffler. The mufflers still aren't tightened in the bracket, but the bracket's tightened to the chassis. I don't know I still haven't looked at the instructions, to be honest. We haven't plugged up the oxygen sensor or nothing yet. We're basically getting that done and making sure everything's snug in the collectors. So we have this dyno jet tuner. You can just double side sticky tape it on the dash somewheres. I don't want to do that. I didn't know they sold a mount. You can see these little lips on all, there's 2 on each side, that mounts it like a GoPro. So what I'm going to do is end up mounting it right here with that mount. So what we're going to do is just tune it for now and unplug it and keep it in a Ziploc bag in the glove box. But to tune this, there's a little handle on the front of your seat. If you push it down, you can pull the bottom of the seat out. You can see there. And then you can see that red plug right there. I've already ran wires, by the way, for a secondary battery that I'm going to be installing in here. But there's a plug right here for this tuner to hook up to. You can see that red plug. So we're just going to hook that up. And we might need to, yeah, it's got a cap on it. So we should be able to unplug it from this little holder. So we unplug that from its little holder and plug it up. Okay, we're gonna turn accessory mode on. Feel my shocks squatting.
Dyno jet.
We're gonna select tune. Trinity Stage 5 exhaust. We're gonna start. Pair this vise to the connected vehicle. Yes. Delete incompatible STK stock files and adjust. Yes. So it's deleting. It'll now flash the ECU. And you, like I said, you can leave this mounted in here and do some cool stuff. It even has a wideband hookup, which I would like to add later. That'd be pretty cool. Our stuff is blinking like crazy on the dash and stuff. It's like, what are you doing to me? So I would imagine if you go in for any kind of service work, like if you have a recall or anything, you'd want to knock it back down to stock. I know exhaust doesn't void the warranty from what they said, so let this ride. Then we should just be able to turn the switch off and unplug it.
A few moments later.
Definitely a lot deeper.
Yeah. And we wipe down the exhaust with acetone just to make sure any handprints gets off of it. And then one thing I'm going to check, I didn't check this, I'm going to make sure that these Allens are tight. And this, you can loosen these 4 Allens and clock these different. So I think I want them clocked down a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
Because this would, if we're riding with people, it'll blow in their face. But I guess it's a lose-lose because it's going to either blow in their face or blow dust up.
I would honestly rather the exhaust blow in my face than dust. It sounded like something was rattling.
I heard that, yeah. It's like a, oh, I bet it's that heat shield. We got to bend the heat shield off of the exhaust. Is it still touching it on that top hanger?
Yeah, the spring's touching it.
Yeah, so that's what the rattling was. I'm going to take a pair of pliers. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to grab that and bend it out a little bit. And then we'll be able to take her for a test rip. And we did start it in the shop. Lonnie ran his hand around it, listened really close. We did have a leak on the header to the block. He just tightened it up evenly and until he couldn't get it, you know, we're not hammering on them, but then I would start it and let it get a little temperature in it and he tightened them again and they're good. Probably should have replaced the gaskets. They're not much for the copper O-rings, but you know, I'm sure when we do the turbo kit, it will be in a year or so, we'll be putting new stuff on it like that. So super pumped. Like, I think it sounds sick.
Yeah, it's way better. I like that deep sound.
Oh, I think it looks, that muffler took over this whole entire area. Like,
yeah, especially with that shield there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was packed in there. So that's really nice. And after I put 100 miles or so, I'm going to go through and tighten everything just to make sure everything's good. But super pumped with this Trinity exhaust. Make sure to check out the links in the video description. So we actually filmed that a while back and we was going to do some footage of us riding at this park just so you can hear it through the gears. That's where this exhaust really changes the game. It backfires in between. Like if you really rev out the Talon and get at the peak of its RPM range, it'll like pop every time you change gears. It sounds like a supercar going down the road and stuff. I love this exhaust. I highly recommend it. If you have a Razor or a Talon, whatever side by side, I highly recommend doing the Trinity exhaust. Everything's replaced in it and everything's super high quality. So massive shout out to Trinity. We actually reached out to them because this was the exhaust we wanted and said we'd make a video on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to check out the links to everything we've done to this Talon. We should be turboing it in the next year or so. It's a really expensive kit. There's actually 2 kits for it. There's the Jackson Racing, and then there's another company that makes another kit, and the Jackson Racing is a good kit, but I've heard people cracking the manifolds on it because of how they support it. So I think we're actually going to go with the other kit. I can't remember the brand of it right off the top of my head, but they both do the same power. It's just I like the intercooler placement a lot better on the other kit than the Jackson Racing one, and it just seems like a all in all better sorted out kit. So stay tuned for that in the later videos. We got a lot more coming this Talon. We're going to do a custom roll cage on it, and you know, they look so much better when you do a rolled roll cage on them. And yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying the side-by-side content. It's a little bit of a breakup from our normal chassis building. It's nice to go jump on a factory machine, beat on it, and never have to worry about tweaking with anything. I actually love that side-by-side. And I love building buggies. I'll build them to the end of time, but there's no replacement for a good tuned side-by-side. But thank you guys so much for watching. Check out those links, and we love you, and God bless.